Hey y'all!
We're Bibbidi Bobbidi back again. This is Wish Upon This. I'm Gabby.
And I'm Korbyn.
Today, we have a little special
Halloween episode.
Exactly. Korbyn, what movie are we watching?
We're watching The Adventures of Ichabod Crane and Mr. Toad.
Yep. 1949.
I wanted to mention first that we realized we never say our names.
It was pointed out to us.
Yeah.
That we don't tell you guys our names.
So we're updating the intro a little bit.
If you didn't notice.
Yeah.
Where do we start with this one? I think it's important to note that this movie is two separate stories. They're basically like mini movies put into one movie.
I will say The Adventures of Ichabod Crane, I had watched this before.
I feel like I probably have, but I recognized the Toad characters. As soon as I started watching the movie, it was like a flood of childhood memories came back to me. But I wasn't sure if I saw the movie or if I've seen the characters on The House of Mouse.
I think I've seen the characters like in a book, like a kid's book.
Yeah.
Like drawn out, like I recognize that frog.
That sounds really familiar, actually.
And so my boyfriend loves this movie, the Ichabod Crane one. The adventure. He loves that one, the Headless Horseman one.
Interesting. Like
And
the story or the movie?
The movie, like this movie, and I was like, did you watch Mr. Toad? Because I was like, I'd never seen that. And he goes, no, there was one part when I was a kid that I would skip every time I'd watch it. And I guess he was talking about Mr. Toad.
Mr. Toad? That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's interesting, though. They're both based off of books.
Yeah. Books I had never heard of.
I've heard of Ichabod Crane because it's the Headless Horseman.
Right. Maybe let me amend my.
Well, you've probably heard of it and called like Sleepy Hollow,
Yeah.
Headless Horseman.
Because we had to read it in school.
Yeah, I don't really recall. I mean, Ichabod Crane rings a bell, but I recognize like Sleepy Hollow.
Right. The Mr. Toad, the what?
It was Toad's Wild Ride, but
Yeah.
it's based off of a book called I should read the summary.
Yeah, let's see.
Here is the storyline according to Tim Pickett on IMDb. 2 stories. The Wind in the Willows, concise version of Kenneth Graham's story of the same name. J. Thaddeus Toad, owner of Toad Hall, is prone to fads, such as the newfangled motor car. This desire for the very latest lands him in much trouble with the wrong crowd, and it is up to his friends, Mole, Rat, and Badger, to save him from himself. The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, retelling of Washington Irving's story set in a tiny New England town. Ichabod Crane, the new schoolmaster, falls for the town beauty Katrina Van Tassel, and the town bully Brawn Bones decides that he is a little too successful and needs convincing that Katrina is not for him.
Okay, so when I looked this up on IMDb, Bing Crosby is like in this.
He narrates it. I was going to mention that too, yeah.
I love that.
He narrates Sleepy Hollow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know who does the Toad.
Some British dude.
You looked him up?
Yeah. So I thought it was funny how like it opens with a library scene. I think it was more tongue in cheek because it was like, I'm gonna tell you about the most prevalent, the best story and character in fiction.
Yeah.
And he's like, we could talk about Robin Hood or
King Arthur.
Yeah.
But we're gonna talk about
Mr. Toad.
That was funny. I liked the intro. It harkened back to like Snow White and Pinocchio, and it felt really fairy tale storybook like.
Yeah. And this one, I know and we forgot to mention this, we did skip Fancy Free for now.
Fun and fancy free.
For now. We're going to go back to it, but we wanted to do like a Halloween episode.
Yeah, so.
But,
we'll go back to it. Don't worry. Don't be in our comments saying, why don't y'all do Fun and Fancy Free? You already skipped Fantasia.
Don't get them riled up, Gabby. But, I think watching this immediately, it felt very like, it felt higher like quality.
Immediately when it went into the animation, I was like, okay, yeah, this is a step up from the last one we saw, which is the Three Caballeros.
they do the intro, I think, ties it together more.
I will say, I get what you're saying. I didn't think the two stories, I don't understand why they were in the same movie.
Like, narratively, do they have anything similar? Greed.
Was there greed in Mr. Toad? Oh, yeah, I guess there was. Yeah, you're right.
Maybe that's the one connecting.
Maybe. Well, because we wanted this to be a Halloween episode, and so when I started Mr. Toad, I was like, uh-oh, this is not a Halloween movie. We've made a grave mistake. it gets there eventually.
Yeah, it does.
Well, the movie starts, and it's like a narration, and we're learning about this kind of world. There's animals that live.
They're like, I forget what they're called, like humanoid.
Anthropomorphic, yeah. So there's a rat named Rat.
A badger.
Named McBadger. And a mole.
Yeah.
Named Mole.
And then there's Thaddeus.
J. Thaddeus Toad.
So he is like, they talk about him as like an adventurer type.
He lives in like this big mansion called Toad Hall.
Yeah.
Which all of the animals are like, this is our shining crown jewel. This shows that like animals can do great things.
It's very like, what's the word? It's very Downton Abbey.
Yeah.
Like that's their, that's one of their like fancy homes, and then people are tenants, I guess.
Yeah.
So the beginning is like, Mr. Toad is bankrupt, basically.
Yeah.
And his friends are trying to get him to stop spending money and wasting money.
The word that they used, like how they explained why he spends so much money, is that he has mania. Okay, I guess I should bring this up now. I think Mr. Toad is bipolar.
I was about to say, like, confirmed manic episodes.
No, these are manic episodes of a bipolar individual. And I know it was 1949. So I was like, his friends need to get him help or something.
I know. So they, it opens on Rat and Mole getting a letter from, like, a human. And it's from Mac Badger, who's voiced by, like, a Scottish man. And he's like, y'all need to get over here. Y'all need to help me find Toad. I'm sick of his shenanigans.
Yeah. Because McBadger's, like, in charge of his books or whatever. And he's like, he can't afford to do anything else.
And he's being hounded by bill collectors. So he's at the end of his rope. He sends Mole and Rat to go find
Toad. Turns out Toad is in one of his episodes currently. And him and another friend who's a horse, who's not named Horse. Cyril. Like Paddingfoot or something like that. It was Cyril is his name though. And they call it
it's a Romani card.
Yeah, it's a Romani
A traveling Romani card.
Yeah, thank you.
And he is like causing terror across the countryside.
He's like ruining people's fences and their fields
crops
and
in a greenhouse.
And this is when I was like, oh yeah, okay, I can get why people are so mad at Toad for his little like fads or mania episodes, because he is, and that's where the money's coming from. Is like he's ruining people's stuff and he's having to pay it back.
Yeah. So he's hanging out with Cyril and they're going crazy, and his friends find him and they're like, dude, you need to come back to Toad Hall. And he's like, never, I'm gonna take you all on an adventure. You know, he's very like devil may care.
Yeah.
And
there's a point that they were talking to him I liked when he was like, I don't want to listen, and he puts his hands over his ears, and as he's doing that, the audio changes to where it sounds muffled, and he would like take off his ears and it'd go back to normal. I really liked that. I thought that was really cute.
Yeah.
It was a creative choice, which I was like, okay, so Disney's kind of being creative again. 1949, I don't know what year World War II ended, but this might be on
45.
Okay, it ended in 45. Well, there you go. The war's over at this point. I think they're probably starting to get their work
first thing I think of is like aristocrats.
Yeah. It did have that kind of vibe to it. Well, I was going to say, though, that I think the animation in this one felt closer to the Disney movies that I know and love.
Right.
Because the past ones that we've seen, even like Dumbo, Pinocchio, Bambi even. Bambi was better, but even Bambi I was like, well, I can tell this is like very old. Where this one felt like it could have come from like the 80s or 90s.
Right. I had the same thought. I think like after the, the ear thing, he sees a car.
Yeah.
And another mania kicks in.
Yeah. Like they finally get him off the cart.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, now I want a motor car.
And he's like bumping around.
You can see it in his face whenever he saw that car. This is why I was like, this is such good animation, because the excitement in Toad's face, you can see it literally come up, and he's like, I want that car. Yeah.
So they have to drag him to Toad Hall.
Yeah.
They're good friends.
I know my friends would do this for me.
They get him to the castle, and he's got this spiral thing going on in his eyes, and he looks very crazed.
Yeah.
They bring him up the steps, they shove him in his room, and they lock him in there. And they're like, you're not coming out until this passes.
Mm-hmm.
So they're sitting outside, and he's like, let me out. He's banging on the door.
And Mole is the one who's like, oh man, maybe we should be and Rat's like, no, he's gotta stay in his house. He cannot spend any more money.
Yeah. Mo would be the one that let his friend
You'd be
out
Badger. You'd be Rat, I'd be Mole.
Mole would be the one that would let his friend with a zombie bite back in the group.
Yeah, for sure. Maybe I'd be more Cyril, unfortunately.
So the narrator is like, yeah, they tried to lock him up, but guess what? It didn't work.
He climbs out the window.
It's like a rope.
Yeah.
And he's like, this is such funny animation. I don't know if it's like the way they made his body, but like he's so funny.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like walking across the roof, and then the next thing you see are headlines that he stole a car, and there's a gun to his head.
Yes.
And one of the things I was like,
there's like a police officer holding a gun to his head in the car. He was sitting in the car, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I was wondering about that.
So we don't get to see this whole theft happen.
Yeah, no. It literally goes from him sneaking out to bam, Toad arrested.
Yes, and then straight to court.
They don't have a lot of time to waste in this movie. They've got to get things done.
Yeah.
It's only like 30 minutes.
Do you know you have 30 minutes?
Are you kidding me?
30, yes.
Court is in session.
Yeah. And he calls the prosecutor, I guess. He calls McBadger to the stand.
Badger, yeah.
And McBadger basically confirms that, yes, Mr. Toad was bankrupt and he was cut off from spending money.
Mm-hmm.
And so the prosecutor is like, and that's exactly why he stole, because he had no money to buy this car. So that proves that he stole.
Mm-hmm.
Then Mr. Toad comes up with his own defense, and it's actually pretty
He's not a bad lawyer.
He's pretty I believe
he
him.
calls the right witness. Well, you believe him? I'm not gonna lie. I was kind of there's a point when I was like, wait a second. Did Mr. Toad steal this car?
Did he Grand Theft Auto?
I'm really? Yeah, I thought so.
He calls Cyril to the stand.
I wrote down Toad, you dummy. I don't know why I did that.
So he calls. I kind of stopped taking notes because I was actually very invested in the scene. He calls Cyril to the stand, and basically, Cyril talks about he didn't steal the car.
Yeah.
He went to.
He followed the car to a bar.
Yes.
And a bunch of weasels came out of the car. And that's when he was like, we all know weasels are no good, rotten.
Yeah, I was like, stereotyping
I was
weasels.
about to say.
That's crazy.
What do the weasels have to say about that? And then, so he's basically telling the story about how Toad goes into the bar. He's like, I want this car. He's talking to the barman. He has a name. Oh,
Winky.
Winky.
Mr. Winky.
Winky Dinky? Or just Winky?
Toad tried to sell me a stolen car.
Yeah.
And so immediately,
the trial's over.
Yeah, trial's over. He gets arrested.
He gets put in London, the Tower of London.
The Tower of London.
Yeah.
I was like, oh wow.
Right on for Disney for historical accuracy.
I was like, that's a little serious.
No, I thought this was funny. There's a news, so they tell you this through newspaper headlines.
Mhm.
It's like Toad convicted, and I noticed that the byline of the newspaper says Star Reporter, and I just thought that was funny.
That is funny. You're a star reporter.
Stop it! I'm not a reporter.
If you know, you know.
If you don't know, you don't know.
He's like crying and he's like, I'll never ever do this again. I've learned my lesson. Like,
He's very repentant.
yeah, I wrote exactly like he repents.
He does.
And he's like, I realized that what I did caused harm, and I'm never gonna be like that again.
I'm gonna be able to control myself. So then he gets a guard comes in and is like, hey, your grandmother's come to visit you. I was like, what?
And who comes in? Cyril.
Dressed
Now,
like his grandmother.
this is what. Say what you want about Cyril. He's a real one. He might be a little bit of a bad influence,
Yeah.
but in the end,
Yeah.
he did.
He got him out of prison when his friends did not believe Toad.
Yeah, they were like, "No, he did that."
He's gonna do his time.
But Cyril knows the truth, I guess. So
Yeah,
he's
that's
like,
true. Still don't know. He was there. Yeah.
yeah,
He goes and he breaks him out of prison.
yeah, and
He gives him his own grandma clothes to dress up in. And then Toad does escape. They don't show his escape.
yeah, they don't show like.
So I was wondering, I was like, okay, he puts on the clothes, the lady clothes, and then did Cyril stay in the cell?
I don't know, cause like after that, Cyril is not.
He's not in the movie again.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
he is at the very, very end.
So I don't know, like if they. I don't know. They don't show this, but they got separated, and
Toad's like running through town, trying to get home
yeah.
in these clothes, and then of course they notice that he's escaped, so now there's a manhunt for Toad.
And at first, like an officer sees him,
Yeah.
but he's in a disguise. So
He's like, sorry, ma'am.
he's like, "Ah, sorry," and then his little ball and chain falls out.
Oh yeah, that's right. They had it look like it was like stuffed under his dress.
Yeah.
So the ball looked like Toad had like a big booty.
Yeah.
Big badonkadonk. And then it fell out, and the guard was like, "Oh my God, that's Toad!"
Yeah. Eventually, there's like a sort of a chase of some degree, but he's being like dragged by his ball and chain
Yeah.
throughout town, and he finally lands in the water, and he's like, "Haha,
He
losers!"
said, "You're not gonna get me."
And then he's like, realizes, "Oh,
Yeah, I'm gonna drown.
I'm drowning."
Yeah.
Then it cuts to Mole and Rat. They're together on Christmas.
I
They
was
were
gonna
giving
say,
couple.
They were not roommates. I was thinking the same thing.
And they're talking about Toad, and they're like, "Man, I'm sad that he's, alone on Christmas." And then
Mole said something funny. He was like, they're making a wish or something, and Mole was like, I just hope he gets time off for good behavior.
Mhm.
And I thought, he's gotten time off, all right.
Yeah.
But it ain't for good behavior. So then, like a knock comes at their door,
Yeah.
and we think the audience is like, it's Toad.
Yeah.
It's not. It's Badger.
And he's like, "Guys, Toad didn't lie."
Yeah. He figured out that he really did sell
Yeah.
Toad off for a car, and they're like, no, what the heck?
And the Weasels are living there, and it turns out the Weasels and Mr. Winky were in it together.
Yep.
Business partners.
Yeah. In crime.
Yeah.
They've
Crime partners.
partners. Yeah.
Partners in crime.
Partners in crime. And so they've like taken over Toad Hall.
Mhm.
And we go back to Mole and Rat and Badger, and
They're like, "We have to help him. Like, what do we do?" And then Toad bursts through the door, and he's like soaking wet. And they're like, "Toad, we know you didn't do this." And they're like, "Wait, what are you doing here?"
yeah.
And he's like, "I escaped." And Rat weasels everywhere. And there was this really funny part where they're in a boat, and they're like, "Oh, there's a guard right now." Mr. Toad goes, "I'll pop him off."
Yeah, he grabs a gun and he tries
And
to
they're like,
shoot
"No,
him.
Toad, no!" And they have to like,
Physically restrain him, and he still shoots off the gun, but it shoots into the water. And so the weasel's like, "Huh? Who goes there?" But
Yeah.
they've like floated off.
and I've got to. Like, why bring Toad to this?
I thought the same thing, but I was like, oh, maybe he just knows Toad Hall better than anybody else.
Like, he's crazy.
Because they go in through like a secret passageway, so maybe
Yeah.
they needed Toad to.
Well, no, because even it was Rat or McBadger that went through the secret. He's the one that opened the secret door.
Oh.
So I was like, let's bring your crazy friend.
Well, you know Toad, he would have just followed them
That's
anyway
true.
and made more trouble. He would have gotten Cyril involved if Cyril wasn't in the Tower of London.
So they walk in, and all of the weasels are like asleep. Or he's like, they're asleep. And one of them was like, no, they've been hitting the bottle. It's like Disney cannot stay away
Alcoholics.
from
dude.
drunk.
They're just too much alcoholics. At least they're not kids.
That's true. So then they said, like, this was crazy to me. Mr. Winky is asleep in the middle of all of these weasels. Deed is just sticking out of his like blazer.
Like, put that in a safe or something, dude.
So they like Mission Impossible style.
You know, literally.
Or should we? Is this where Tom Cruise?
This is where Tom Cruise got his inspiration
Yeah,
from. Tom
they
Cruise
say-
got nothing on Mole.
Which, at first I was like, why would they send Mole? He's got no arms or legs barely. Toad has like all of like.
I wouldn't have trusted Toad either.
Right.
They should
At least
send
Rat. He's at least a little bit longer. You know, he's got more of a reach.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, Toad's struggling to get this.
Mole struggling.
You're right. So anyway, Mole is struggling to like reach the paper. He finally gets it, and they're bringing him up. But then that guard, that freaking Toad shot at, he barges in and he's like, "Oh, an intruder!"
They're in England.
They're
Did
all
we mention
British.
that?
Yeah, no, we didn't mention this.
This movie is. That's why she's been doing British accents the whole
Yeah.
time. They're in England.
If that's what you can call
the
them.
Tower of London.
She like chasing suits.
Yeah, he like throughout Toad Hall.
Yeah, this is such a long scene. But it
Yeah.
was at least a little like.
It was a little entertaining.
It was
It was like
entertaining.
very old school cartoon comedy.
Yeah.
Where they're like running through a mansion and
Yeah, like.
slapstick and whatever. I don't even remember anything that happened in this chase.
Yeah, it's just a lot going on. Mole almost gets left behind at one point.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I
At one
feel bad for
point-
this dude.
Yeah, at one point Toad, because the deed gets folded up into a paper airplane, and then Toad has the bright idea, apparently it is a bright idea, to fold a bunch of other papers into
Yeah.
paper airplanes and throw them, and the weasels are trying to get them, and they escape Toad Hall.
Yes.
And we don't see them grab the deed at all.
I think Toad had it.
Well, he does, but we learn that later.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
at the time they run out, and I'm like, what? Wait a second.
You know what? I had the same thought. I was like, did y'all get what
What
you
did
came
you
here
get?
for?
Yeah.
They did.
They did. Toad's like, guess what, guys? Don't worry. It's right here.
Yeah.
Don't know how he got it. They never.
They don't show or tell.
No, they don't. They really don't.
So it does the same newspaper thing where instead of like they
Toad exonerated or something.
yeah
like
through
that.
the newspapers, and then kind of a happy ending.
Everything. He's got Toad Hall back.
Yeah.
His finances seem to be in order. His friends are there, and they all love him. And they're like, good thing that he's like changed his ways. He's a changed Toad.
And then what does he do?
He loves airplanes now.
He comes flying in on an airplane, him and Cyril.
And they're like, oh, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
And so I wrote, so Toad doesn't change by the end.
Yeah.
He did not learn a lesson. I guess it makes sense he didn't learn his lesson because he still got everything he wanted at the end.
I was about to say.
I do know, it's a little bit of a background trivia. This movie originally, they first started talking about making this movie like 19 something, and it was gonna be its own full-length feature film. But after all the war stuff happened, and there was a animator strike, and blah 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 blah, someone had the idea to Disney had this era where they did a lot of they're called package films. The Three Caballeros is a good example, where it's multiple stories put together. This is the last of the package films, by the way. Well, Fun and Fancy Free is one. We're gonna do that. And so this movie was originally supposed to be its own movie, and I think with a longer runtime, they could have fixed a lot of these things, like show stuff that they weren't able to show.
Yeah. I will say, that was enough. 30 minutes, that was enough for me with that.
Okay.
I was like, it's cute. It felt like a short story kind of thing.
I didn't mind it so much, yeah. I mean, it's not like I was really, it didn't bother me that things were missing.
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, they probably could have done that if they had longer runtime.
Yeah. I do think the newspaper stuff was like a creative way to like keep time moving.
I agree. It's a good way to show the audience what's happening.
Yeah.
Without it being like exposition.
Without actually having to like show it
Yeah.
in a longer scene.
So that was Toad's Wild Ride.
Mm-hmm.
Movie's not over yet, folks.
No.
Because we've got...
So now, Bing Crosby takes over as like the narrator. We're back in the library, and he's like, here in the colonies, we have our own, stories. We could talk about.
He mentioned Paul Bunyan.
Yeah.
Pecos Bill.
The guy with the
Johnny Appleseed or David Crockett.
David Crockett, yeah. And he's like,
we've got
yeah, we're gonna talk about Ichabod Crane.
Yeah, so you name all these really amazing heroes, heroic folk legends. We're gonna talk about Ichabod Crane.
I've got to say, like, watching this with an adult lens, I do understand that he's kind of like not, like, he is not the like the hero of the story.
No, he's not a hero. I'm gonna say
I love that. He reminds me. Have you seen Emma?
No.
It's a Jane Austen book and then an adapted movie. It's one of my favorite movies. He reminds me of the preacher or the priest who like travels around and he tries to marry Emma because she's rich.
A priest?
Pastor? He's a pastor.
Okay.
He's not Catholic.
We get introduced to Ichabod Crane through, was it a song?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no. Well, first he's saying, this is happening in this small town in Manhattan.
Mm-hmm.
And then he said there's this one place, I forgot the name.
Sleepy Hollow?
No, there's like a village and
it is. Oh, Terrytown.
Yeah, and then he's like, and then next to that is a place called Sleepy Hollow, talking about how it's like a very, superstitious place, small town vibes. We open to like a group of guys.
Yes. We meet.
Well, they're like all sitting, and then you meet Ron Bones. And he comes like galloping in with his horse, and he's like, you can tell he's like,
the man.
The it guy of, he's like the Gaston, if you will, of Sleepy Hollow.
He looks just like Gaston.
Yeah.
Turns out he was used as a model for Gaston later on. Because I thought that, I was like, he looks just like Gaston. And I was looking up stuff about the movie. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Can I also write, I had written, at first I was like, Brom Bones - hot. And then the more the movie went on, I went back and I scratched it out.
I've got to, okay. I'll wait until we get.
Right, yeah, we'll get into
So, we're introduced to Ichabod Crane with like a really mean song.
It's talking about how ugly he is.
Yeah, and he's like tall, exceedingly lanky, like they're just going in on his looks.
Yeah.
I mean, he is like,
he's ugly.
how would the kids say? He's goofy
Oh, how tall is he? Maybe like 6, 7?
How do you do, fellow kids?
What?
Sorry.
We're trying to get the young crowd. movie is a little bit more. We'll get into it.
Yeah.
Ichabod's ugly.
Yeah.
Yeah. But somehow, it also mentions he, like, loves food.
Yes. And he's the schoolmaster, so he's there to be the teacher.
He walks around with a book in front of his face.
Yeah. And they talk about him in school, like, you know, instead of, like, spanking the kids if they're being bad, he is more like, you better get me food.
Yeah.
So then they start showing him scenes in, like, he's in other people's homes eating all of their food.
Well, particularly the ladies.
He's a mooch.
He is. I wrote, does Ichabod just like ladies for food? And yeah, he does. He literally, like, there was a scene where a kid was going to get in trouble. And
money.
Yeah, and money. And then he like, lets the kid off, and then he's, like, at his house with his single mom.
Yeah.
Eating her food. Yeah.
So,
I don't like Ichabod.
me either.
Good, okay.
And the ladies are loving him.
Yeah,
I don't know.
the whole thing is, like, he's ugly, he's this, he's that, but somehow, for some way,
he's got,
the ladies love him.
yeah, he's got the ladies wrapped around his finger. So the guys hate him. And they're making fun, like, they're always, like, giving him crap.
Yeah.
Which,
I'm not trying to say that bullying's okay. It's not. Bullying is horrible. You should not bully. But there are some people who you're like, you are insufferable.
Yeah.
And I feel like Ichabod is probably like that.
yeah. And, like, they're seeing something that, you know, other people don't, which is that he's using people for food. He has the gluttony that's warned about in the Bible, you know?
Yeah.
Which deadly sin is that?
Yeah, that's gluttony.
Yeah, he's got that.
Yeah. I'm freaking out. There's your dad.
Papa.
So,
So he meets Katrina Von Tassel. The way they introduce her is crazy. She's got big tatas.
that's half of her personality right there.
And they call her plump as a
Yes.
pigeon.
Plump as a pigeon. I wish somebody would call me plump as a pigeon.
Same.
Dang. But
She's really pretty, and she knows it.
and she knows it, and she uses it.
Oh yeah, I love this girl.
There's a scene where it was like a big group of guys. They're all like trying to vie for her attention, and so they set up a picnic.
Yeah.
And she's like, I don't like this spot. And they all hurry up and move. And then she goes to the next spot where they moved, and she's like, I don't think I like this spot either. She just has them all wrapped around her finger. She's very pretty. By
Yeah.
the way, I thought she looked an awfully lot like Cinderella. We're not the only ones who noticed that. Like, that's a thing online, apparently. Yeah. I wonder if they used her as a model later.
Maybe. So he meets her and, like,
One other important thing about her, she's rich.
yes, her dad is like the richest in
Yeah.
their
So
town.
to sum up Katrina as a character, big tatas, lots of money, and she knows it.
No waste.
Body tea.
Body tea. So he, like, it's weird because, like, he's not looking at, I mean, he looks at her and he's like, I want that girl. But instead of, like, imagining, like, life together or whatever, he's imagining, like, all the food he's going to get to eat and how rich he's going to get to be if he gets with her. And I'm like,
This is the point when I was
she's
like,
so out of your league, brother. You should
Yeah.
be excited that she...
yeah. Well, this is the point when I was like, oh yeah, I really don't like him because it's one thing if you saw her and you fell in love, whatever. That's great. And that should have been the point when he was like, I'm gonna change my ways.
And can I project on this film a little bit? This is when I started to feel for Brom. Because that's his childhood sweetheart. Some out of town mooch, ugly, and comes in, and he's trying to get his girl, and he knows that wants her for her money.
Exactly.
So I'm on his side. Like, genuinely.
No. Well, we'll get into it at the end because I agree. Like, Ichabod really is. I don't like him.
Yeah, like, he's not a good person.
No, he really isn't. He's not good. He's not a good guy.
It starts a rivalry between them, and one that Katrina very much fuels. She loves this.
She does. I mean, look, she's got two men chasing after her. I also feel like she already knows she's gonna pick Brom.
Right.
So what Ichabod is doing though is she's just giving her attention, and I think she's using that to make Brom jealous, to make him step up his game, maybe. Whatever.
He gets invited to the Halloween party, and she puts a personal note.
They call it a frolic.
Yeah.
I like that.
I did too. I liked the vibe of this movie.
Yeah, it was very, what did it give me? We'll go back to it later.
And the narrator does, like, when Ichabod is getting ready for this, the narrator being
Bing, our
Mr.
good friend
Crosby.
Bing.
I can't say that. Bing Anyway, he says, "What is this strange power you have over women?" And that's what my thought this whole time. I'm like, what does this dude got?
You know what I realized though? I was thinking about it. Can I project for a second? How many times in life do we see this happen where just an ugly guy is able to, they know what women want, and instead of being genuine about treating women how they want to be treated,
Right.
they treat women how they want to be treated to get what they want.
Right.
And that's what Ichabod is doing.
Yes.
He's not genuine in the way he is treating women how they want to be treated, but it's not coming from a genuine place.
Yeah, it's like with a goal.
Exactly.
Of
Of not falling in love,
yeah.
but to get stuff.
So he's wooing all the women because he's a good dancer, allegedly.
Where?
Yeah. He's just, I don't know.
He stands out. He's so tall. His head
And
stands
he's
out
doing
above
like
the crowd.
he's very like goofy
Yeah, 'cause
coated
he's all
with it.
joints and arms and legs. There's not much else to him.
You know, Brom kind of, I was like, okay, rude. He wouldn't dance with this girl who was sitting by herself.
Oh my God, I wrote that down too. At this point, also, I was going, where is the Headless Horseman? I thought this movie was about him.
Yeah.
Guess not.
So Brom eventually is like, I'm gonna ask this girl to dance so that I can be on the dance floor and switch partners.
Yeah.
But that little girl was not letting go.
She was ready to dance.
This
and the
was-
hottest guy at the party, maybe except for Ichabod, just asked her to dance.
Yeah.
I wouldn't let go either.
No, and she was so, this scene actually made me laugh so hard
Yeah.
because it reminded me of like my niece, how like you're trying to get kids to do something they don't want to do and they won't let go of your leg or something. That was the vibe she was giving. Like she was literally holding on like arms and legs wrapped.
At one point, Brom is able to switch
Yes.
briefly.
But then he kind of like, he loses that battle.
Ichabod gets Katrina back.
Yeah. And so you're kind of like, dang.
You can say it.
You're like, damn. Sorry, Brom.
Yeah.
And he's
You're
kind of
you
like,
lost this one.
but then he sees Ichabod. He realizes that Ichabod is really superstitious.
Yeah, Ichabod's at the dinner, the buffet table, and he spills salt, and he's like, and he quickly throws it over his shoulder. And Brom's like, how do you make a man look bad in front of a woman?
So he starts telling his scary story.
And this is where the Headless Horseman stuff comes in.
Yeah.
He tells the story of the Headless Horseman in the form of a song.
Yeah.
Really liked that.
I love that.
Love the song. And the story of the Headless Horseman is basically a horseman who's headless, and he was riding around at night trying to find somebody's head to chop off to replace.
Put on his head.
Put on his body, yeah. And Ichabod's freaking out.
He's so scared. He's like literally shivering, and Katrina's looking at him and laughing. I was like, Ichabod, stand up.
No, really, you're taller than everybody else.
Yeah.
And yeah, so rightfully so, she was laughing.
Yeah. And basically, Brom was like, you know, to be safe from him, you have to make it to the other side of the bridge. Ichabod's leaving for the night.
Yeah.
I'd be scared too.
I would be too. I was thinking about this. I was like, can't blame him.
Yeah, I'd be shaking him out. The thing is, though, why is your horse going so slow?
His horse is like...
I get that it's like for the plot.
Right, but...
I would have been
booking it.
I would have been like,
We're getting...
Paul Revere.
I would have asked if I could stay the night at their place.
Yeah.
Hey, I can't make it home tonight. My horse is drunk.
Sleep over. You want to spend the night?
Katrina?
So it's this whole scene where like the woods are freaking him out really bad. Like
Yeah.
it'll look like a ghost or something, and then it's just a tree with like bugs in its eyes.
And he goes through a cemetery
Yeah.
and he hears
Galloping.
and he's like, oh my god, and his horse is like sitting down tired or something, and he's like, we have to go. And anyways, it turns out it's not a horse's hooves he's hearing, it's cattails
Yeah.
beating against a log, and he starts laughing hysterically, and I was like,
And that was freaking me
I
out.
was like, he lost his mind.
Yeah, I was like,
I said,
I don't
good job,
like
Brom.
this. Yeah.
But he realizes, he's like, we're okay. As he's laughing, and this is the point in the story when you're also, for me, I was like, okay,
Like,
so
where is this
there
headless
is no
horseman?
headless horseman. It's like, it's fake.
Yeah.
Like, whatever.
We've been lied to.
Brom is lying. And then he turns around, and there's the headless horseman on his horse,
Maniacally laughing.
jack-o'-lantern in his hand. In his hand.
Sick. It looked so good.
It was really good.
I was like, oh.
God, this animation has really stepped up.
I was like, I had a big grin on my face because I was like, I love this.
Yeah, I did. I loved this part.
So chase ensues.
Yep.
His horse is like not fast.
No, not at all. Do you want to know what I thought? I was like, is that Brom playing a prank on
Yeah.
Ichabod? I thought that.
It is.
No, it's not.
Yeah, he had the same knife. It's Brom. You can tell because like
I'm gonna have to look that up.
he's the same like buff.
But then the way the story ends.
He done done
Okay, we'll get to it. I'm gonna have to look this up.
it. Gabby,
I'm looking it up.
it's Brom. Okay.
Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves.
So a chase ensues, and he's like, he keeps getting like, he sees the end of the tunnel, i.e. like the end of the, where he needs to cross
bridge,
to get rid of, but he keeps getting like turned around, and so finally, it's Brom.
We'll get to it after we have to finish the movie first. He gets to the end of the bridge.
And he barely makes it.
He turns around, and the headless horseman, or Brom, whoever it is, throws the jack-o'-lantern at Ichabod.
Yeah.
And it fades to black, and the narrator comes back and he's like, and the next morning, Ichabod's hat was left behind in the smashed pumpkin, and Ichabod was never seen again.
Right.
Some people say that he moved to another county and he
Found a
married,
rich woman.
of course,
A rich widow.
rich widow, and he's living there. But everybody in Sleepy Hollow is like, no, he's the headless horseman.
And guess who? Guess what? Brom and Katrina get married.
They do. That's happily ever after.
Ichabod has strong genes.
I thought the same thing. Yeah, it showed like a scenario where he did marry the widow and he had kids and they all have his hairstyle.
No, it was okay. Brom.
It is heavily implied in the book that Brom Bones was the headless horseman.
Yeah. And if you look like when Brom is telling the story, he has this big machete-looking knife, and then the headless horseman has the same knife, and they have the same build. Like Brom has really big arms, and so does you see.
Let me look up Brom. Well, see, I though, right? I think the point is, the viewer gets to decide.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the Ichabod Crane story. I have more opinions on that one.
I do too.
Showed.
I think Brom, if it was told in his perspective, he would be the hero.
Oh yeah.
Because he, like, I mean,
Well, he's the Avenger.
yeah.
In a way. He's protecting all these ladies.
Because Ichabod
Ichabod.
is a mooch.
He is.
And that's why I like Brom.
I do like Brom. I know they want us to not like him, but I like him.
I'm on his side.
I am too. I was a little afraid to say that because I didn't want it to sound like I was like I like a bully, but I
Don't
really
worry.
I don't think he's that
I
much
don't
of a
think
bully.
he's a bully.
He really isn't a bully. He does like one or two things, but it's like a rivalry, right? Ichabod does stuff to him too.
Exactly. I was like, you want me to feel bad for this dude?
Yeah.
But I don't, because he's bad.
No, I don't feel bad for Ichabod Crane at all. I don't like him.
No.
I hate him, and he just reminded me too much of guys in real life that are like that.
Yeah.
And Brom was big and brawny and handsome, and
I mean,
they were childhood sweethearts. And so, this is what I was gonna say earlier. They don't really give too much of a backstory.
yeah.
But I feel like Brom probably does love Katrina for her, not because of her money or her tatas. I mean, I'm sure that helps.
Right.
I know that.
But it's
helps.
implied that they've all known each other for,
Yes.
like, a long time.
Yeah, and they are sweethearts. And then Ichabod is just like, I want her father's money and her tatas, so
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
At least we know at least his intentions.
Yes.
Very clear.
We do know Ichabod's intentions.
Yes. Which, it's kind of, like,
Yeah.
hard to believe that the other guy's intentions could be worse than that.
Well, we don't see Brom going around town trying to woo any other women. I mean, his sole focus is on Katrina.
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 I will say, I was like very pleasantly surprised
I was too.
by these two stories. I enjoyed it. I thought it was cute.
Thought it was cute. I do, of course, wish that they were each separate movies.
Yeah.
I actually liked Toad's story better. Because Ichabod pissed me off. At least with Toad, I was like, well, he's bipolar.
Yeah.
He can't.
It's mental illness.
He's mental illness. He can't help it. But because Toad's story is the one I wanted to see a full-length movie.
Yeah.
Ichabod's, I was like, get off the screen, dude.
I was happy with, the lengths of both.
Mhm.
I thought I let that, yeah, but like the Sleepy Hollow thing, I think what we were given was a perfect amount for
I
that
agree.
story.
Now, it was a little hard for me to rate it because I feel like both of these should be judged separately, but we can't do that, right?
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
They're packaged together. It's the Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Toad. By the way, when I heard the title, I thought they were gonna be like best friends.
Yeah. No.
They don't. Those movies are so different from each other that they do feel like two very different films. So when I was watching it, I finished Mr. Toad's story, and then I wasn't prepared or the right mindset for Ichabod or the other way around, and it just felt, in that sense, it felt a little disjointed. And so judging it together, I think I have to give it a lower score than I would give them if they were separate movies.
Okay. I understand. I think they tried to like bridge them with the narrator situation.
Right.
But I agree that they really are like totally very different.
It was a valiant effort with the library scene to be like, well, this is like a lesser known English folk legend, lore, whatever, folk tale, and this is a lesser known American one.
Mhm.
But I just think the two movies you could have told me that two separate animation teams made these movies.
It would have too. I feel like it would have made more sense to pick like if you're going like was cute, and I could see like, I didn't watch this as a kid, but I could see like putting this on for kids
Yeah.
and them enjoying it.
Yeah. I can see that. I ended up giving it a 2. I did enjoy it, especially after the 3 Caballeros. But the reason I'm giving it a 2 is because, like I said, it felt like these didn't go together. And if I were judging them separately, I think Toad story would get like a 3, and this one, Ichabod would probably get like 2.5. So I was like, I'm just gonna go with 2, 1 for each, 1 point for each. So yeah, 2 out of 5 stars. Favorite song? There wasn't much to pick from.
I would say that
Headless Horseman
Yeah.
song? Yeah.
I want to say the Ichabod one to be petty, but I did like the Headless Horseman song. I might turn that on for Halloween, you know.
Yeah.
Like,
It might be in your Halloween playlist?
Yeah.
I think it will be in my Halloween playlist, yeah. My favorite part.
Honest character.
You go first.
Brom.
Yeah, okay, well, like I told you earlier, I was like, first time Brom came on screen, I wrote down, Brom Bones hot. But then, there's a minute there where I was like, no, he's being bad, so I crossed him out, but then the movie went on longer, and I was like, oh, but I like him. So, I said either Katrina.
I was about to say Katrina and Brom.
Katrina and Brom, and then together they were a hot couple.
Yeah, I'd love to see a hot couple.
I
Like-
love a hot couple.
She was like very like Marilyn Monroe
Yeah, a little
vibes.
bit.
And he was
Marilyn
very
Monroe.
like Rock Hudson vibes.
I love that. Good analogy.
Thank you.
Was Marilyn Monroe around in 1949? Was she already famous? When did she?
I think so.
I think so too. Yeah.
You know, look it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like the 40s and 50s, I think.
That was Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah. So, maybe she
So yeah,
was.
maybe she was a reference model or something.
Yeah.
Or she was like the ideal standard of beauty at the time. So, yeah.
So I guess next episode we'll be doing Fun and Fancy Free.
Yeah. Don't know anything about it.
Me either.
Well, I know a little bit about it. Do you want me to tell you anything? Do you like the characters?
Yeah, what characters?
It's Mickey, Donald, Goofy. And I actually think I've seen a clip of it before. Because, spoiler alert, I think it's Jack the Beanstalk.
Oh.
Is one of the stories. Also, Jiminy Cricket's there.
So it's a bunch of stories.
Yeah, it's like a package film. Adventures of Ichabod and Mr. Crane, like I said, is the last package film. Yeah. So this will be, Fun and Fancy Free will be our last one. And then, you know what our movie is after that?
Cinderella.
Can't
I'm
wait for
so
that.
excited. So, Fun and Fancy Free, next episode.
Mhm.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks. Hope you enjoyed it.
Have a good afternoon.
Or night. Or
Or morning.
Whatever time you're watching this.
Bye.